Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast, and now game 1 in this best of 7 series. These games are being played out of order. I'm still referring to it as game 1 since it is on blistering stands. And at the end of this video, after reading a lot of the comments, and I know that it's difficult to even keep track of these games, I decided to throw up that spreadsheet for you guys so you guys know what's happening. So if you guys don't want to know, or if you guys are watching these games out of chronological order, do not stick around for the very end, as you will be very much disappointed and spoiled. So spoiler alert now. EG Machine spawning as the pink Zerg player on the north side of Blistering Sands. Meanwhile, we have over here July Zerg using the gplays.net account on the American servers, spawning as the orange Zerg. So Zerg versus Zerg here on Blistering Sands. You can once again see a little bit of the difference between the gameplay. The Korean servers like to train up 10 drones and then go for an overlord. Meanwhile, the American and European servers like to train up 9 drones and then an overlord, and then start to play out that way. So both sides opening up with similar strategies, not too different, and we'll see if that early 9 overlord versus 10 overlord has any real difference. We now see an extractor coming in from July already. So July going for an extractor first, followed by a spawning pool. And this is a little bit faster than EG Machine, who seems to be going for a hatchery, and now will be going for a hatchery. You can see two drones now moving out. One of the drones will grow up to be the hatchery, the other one just going to do some scouting instead. And there's that hatchery being placed down. This drone will never fulfill his dreams of being able to produce larvae. No, he'll just go ahead and run into his opponent's base to figure out what's going on. Back over here, we now see the Overlord is in the air, will quickly gain sight of EG Machine's one drone that will be coming up that ramp in just a moment. We now also see that a spawning pool is already in play here. So the spawning pool now coming online. The spawning pool is nearing completion over here. And I think it would have been interesting to see whether or not if July Zerg tried to transfer over an early drone to grow up to be a spine crawler, perhaps like right here, just beyond sight range, as the creep for some reason doesn't spread out or the creep spreads beyond the sight range of that hatchery, so you can actually hide spine crawlers and then move them over and deal some damage. So that would have been a pretty neat trick here on this map on Blistering Sands. I'm not, however, advocating cheese, as I'm sure a lot of fans out there would be very upset at me. Anyways, drones now coming down the ramp will be able to start mining in just a second. One of those drones wants to be a spine crawler, waiting for that creep. A couple of those drones are starting to return with those minerals a little bit too early, and there we go, finally able to return. And there's that spine crawler that I was talking about a little bit ago. We now see that there is no longer any gas being excavated from this one extractor, and now the Zerglings making their way down over here. We do see a hatchery will be coming online in just a moment. There we go. And now a queen, for some reason, walking all the way over here. This is kind of strange to have the queen so far away. It looks like he wants to try to take down this overlord, and it looks like he will be able to shoot and snipe down this overlord, and EG Machine may end up losing a very early overlord, which will hurt him in the long run. We can see that the queen now just wants to run and throw a spine. I think it throws a spine, or it could spit a spine. Not 100% sure what the animation is like, but now we have Zerglings trying to pressure on this back door, and Machine is currently supply locked. 28/28, unable to train up any overlords at this time. Zergling's not going to come and do a very decent surround here. The metabolic boost has completed, and they will be able to pull back and get proper flanking. Perhaps they're going to be able to get some damage onto one of those Zerglings there, trying to get a decent surround, trying to catch the ones that are out of position. And now these Zerglings need to run all the way home. Back on that creep, we do see double queens now from Machine. Machine trying to hold this front door, making sure that no Zerglings are going to be able to get inside the base, but are once again the Zerglings coming back in for more action, trying to take down these backdoor rocks, as July also going for a Roach Warren. So that Roach Warren will be up in just a moment. We do see two queens only one queen in play. Not quite sure what happened to the other queen. Perhaps this queen returned all the way home. I don't know if I said we, but it returned all the way home in order to start spawning larvae here. And I'm a little surprised that July has not trained up an additional queen in order to just get more larvae. One overlord in the air. We'll see these backdoor rocks getting pecked away. 2 overlords, 1 at the front, 1 on the high ground as well, making sure that these rocks are not getting taken down. And these Zerglings are now starting to get that metabolic boost. Perhaps we'll try to give chase against these Zerglings here. It looks like they are, and now the damage has nearly been dealt, but the Zerglings now going to try to come back around and, oh, able to run by without getting any real hits at all. The Queen now trying to get in position. Zerglings now trying to run in. Oh, the Zerglings able to just run straight past, and now maybe able to get some damage in. There is a Spine Crawler here, though, and a Queen. So July will not be able to get any serious damage in there at all. Just still trying to run around back and forth. More Roaches and Zerglings are still being trained. There is still no Queen over here, as it is currently being trained up at that hatchery, as the Zergling now tries to run back down this ramp and run away. So those Zerglings were able to perhaps get a little bit of micro and force Machine to train up an even larger army of Zerglings. No, he is still a little bit behind as Roaches are still being trained, but now you can still see that Machine is still behind food count wise, 44 over 44. He is ahead a little bit in Harvesters, as those Zerglings are now going to try to come in, try to perhaps do a flank and then try to come back in. But now the Zerglings now may try to test the waters. These Roaches need to get back onto that ramp and try to hold that position there, able to get some damage onto those Zerglings there. Those Zerglings, however, are not going to be able to run away all too easily, as those Roaches are somehow having an attack range farther than 4, as those Zerglings are running away. So the targeting and that missile traveling farther than that range of 4, but still finding their target there. Zerglings now trying to tack on, trying to take down some of those Zerglings once again. Roaches now may try to come in, try to get some more damage there, and now in come those Zerglings. Zerglings, however, flanking 2 of those Roaches, but unable to get enough damage off, as now those Roaches are going to be able to just simply tear down this back door. The rocks are already at 306 health, and now July will have easy access into Machine's back door base, or back door entrance here. So they're going to simply walk up the ramp, and now what is going to be happening? We do see a tech to tier 2, a Roach Ward now finally being placed down. Is there a Spire? No Spire just quite yet, and now Zerglings trying to come out and engage, and now Banelings melting away many of those early Zerglings. Roaches, however, trying to fight back, trying to get back into that battle here. Those Roaches could pull back. Queen now once again joining in on this fight, but July with such a large number of Roaches inside the base of EG Machine. Yeah, Machine now pulling back with those drones, trying to get some more damage dealt, but that is not going to be very beneficial at all. That Queen now down to 36 hit points, and more damage is still being dealt. More units are being trained out, but not enough to really handle the swarm. 9 Roaches fighting against this Spine Crawler and a couple of drones. This one Queen will get pecked apart. Down it goes, melted by that acid, as the Roaches are now just going to able to take down this base here. EG Machine now running off of one base. Many of those drones that were trying to transfer unable to get back down onto this low ground, and Machine says GG. So EG Machine says GG here on Blistering Sands, unable to catch up to July Zerg. July Zerg, a very, very well-known Brood War player in the Korea realm. Just a really, really well-played Machine, unable to really protect his backdoor, and July pecking away at the backdoor, getting those rocks down to 300 hit points, and ultimately allowed those Roaches to barrel through there very, very quickly, as those rocks were already so low, and Machine never really stood a chance. Spine Crawlers trying to expand so early, trying to have multiple bases and trying to defend them easily. He just wasn't up to snuff, and he just wasn't up to snuff in trying to deal with the macro of July Zerg. Ultimately, you can see that July Zerg really stopped his larva or his drone production, and instead used the second hatchery on this low ground purely for larva. He didn't really do it for any of that additional drone mining. As you can see, one queen and one hatchery here, one queen, one hatchery here. Some players may wonder why July didn't place the second hatchery in his own base. 2 reasons for that. One reason is by having EG Machine scout out this hatchery, Machine probably thought that July was gonna start expanding and trying to start using his larva in order to mine more minerals. So that was the head fake there. Secondly, if the game did transition into the mid game and July Zerg needed those additional mineral patches, he would be able to power drone and still mine from these 8 mineral patches as well. So that really worked out well for him. I will be updating the what's it called right now, the Excel spreadsheet. So if you guys have not already, do not know, go ahead and turn away, as now EG Prime was able to take this game, forcing a Game 3 tie. So right now it is 3-3 between Prime and EG, and this is a very critical game for Prime. If Prime loses this game, they're pretty much going to be out of the running for being able to, being able to play, being able to play in the finals, since they have already lost to Mouse, losing the Mouse 4-3. So if they lose once more, that is going to be bad news for them. We'll see what's going to be happening here. Currently, Mouse is the only team that has finished all of their matches, and Mouse is unfortunately out of the running. They went 1-3 in the clan war, beating Prime but losing to EG, losing to Team Liquid, and losing to Root as well. I think I still need to cast this game. It may be moot, but I think I should have this game somewhere. I'm going to try to ask the participants to figure out what's happening. Oh, also this game is that as well. So here are the current standings in all of the games. Really, I think what was the downfall for Mouse was Mouse had a very difficult time trying to win their 2v2 matchups. I did talk to the Mouse Sports team manager, Bumblebee, and he did say that in the future he would like me to open up more player slots for specifically 2v2 players. That way, the 1v1 players can focus on 1v1, and 2v2 can also focus on 2v2. So I may consider doing that in the future if I get to hold another Clan War Invitational like this. But so far, feedback's been good. Viewership a little bit down. But yeah, thanks for watching out there. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this wrap up at the end. I'm going to try to be doing this throughout the rest of the games now, so you guys can figure out what's really happening, what's really going on, and just what's happening in the grand scheme of the Machinima Realm Invitational. Once again, thanks for watching.